This is Deborah Brock, and I make crafting videos. Today, I am going to demonstrate and review the Tim Holtz Tonic Studios stamping platform. I want everyone to know that I'm a real crafter, not a professional, and these opinions are my own. I was not paid to do this video, and I'm not sponsored in any way other than by myself. And I have a variety of stamps that you can see from different companies because I thought if I was looking to purchase this, I'd want to know how my stamps are going to work. So let's get started. This is the stamp platform, and you can see that it has a ruler down the side that has centimeters and inches. It goes from 0 to 8 1/4, and across the top it starts at 0 and goes to 8 1/4. These two edges are flat, so you can put any size medium on here, whatever kind of paper you're stamping on. You can put any size in here. This is your lining up corner, and you can use your rulers to make sure that you keep everything centered where you want it to be. The platform on top, as you see, shows rubber. That is how you know, I don't know if you can see that on camera, that is how you know you have it on the right side. If you're stamping with red rubber stamps or gray rubber stamps like this one that have the foam backing, you want to make sure that you use the side that says rubber so you know you're on the right edge when you can read the word rubber. So you would just pick up your lid, place your stamp where you want it to be, and then come down. Now you can see the grid. If you wanted to straighten your stamp, you could pick which grid line and make sure you line up the line on your stamp with the grid. Now it'll stamp straight on your medium. Now the reason this says rubber is because it's a deeper cavity here than for the clear side. This side allows for that foam on the stamp. Now, this platform comes apart and you turn it over. Slide it right back in. There's nothing to tighten, nothing to unclip. It just simply fits in those slots. Now, you can see the word clear here. And I'll make sure, let's see, again, I don't know how clear that's going to be, but you can see the word clear. Sorry about the glare. You can see the word clear. And that's going to be for your clear stamps. Now I'll show you this one in a minute. This one's a lot of fun. So the clear side still has a little edge on it, but it's a less, it's a deeper, not as deep as the rubber side. It has a little bit of an edge here. So I know you can't really see that online or on the video, but there's a raised spot there. There's a ridge. So it's raised up to make up for that gap that the foam takes up with the rubber stamps. Okay? So, I'm going to start with the foam stamps because I have less of those. Now, these are various brands. Some of the brands are name brands that you're familiar with, and some are smaller private companies that you may not have heard of before. While they're striving to become larger companies, crafters like me, crafters like you, we help them succeed. And you can see on the platform, it comes with 2 magnets. These are the magnets it comes with. They're a little bit larger around, I believe, than those of competing stamp platforms. They will snap together. You can feel the pull. Even now I can feel the pull. These are very strong magnets and they want to stick together. If they snap together, you can run the risk that they will break. They make a large or a loud snap noise, and it's quite shocking. It usually scares me when it happens. So if this happens to you, don't try to pry them apart. You'll break your nails doing that. Just simply slide them apart. Okay, so you want to keep those away from each other on your mat, and they work in either direction. It doesn't matter. It does say Tonic Studios on it, but again, they work either way. The other side doesn't have anything on it. Something else about this mat, this stamp platform, on the back, you see there's a foam sheet. This helps it grip to your surface, and it's also got these little feet here that help it stay gripped as well. Okay, so it's not going to slide, and it helps to give you that cushion that you need for stamping. All right, so I've got Memento ink here, and I just picked a black ink because it would be easier to see on the paper. So I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to move my magnets out of the way because I'm just going to put a full sheet of paper. Notice I put my magnets far apart from each other. I don't want them to slap together. And I'm just going to stick them in here. Now, if you notice, when you go outside of this area, your magnet wants to come back in. This 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 square is what's magnetized. So, depending on where you're going to put your stamp. Now, I'm going to do the rubber side. This was an unmounted red rubber stamp from Carmen's Veranda. Again, a small company. It was unmounted. I put my Easy Mount foam on there. You can see what a great job I did cutting it. You don't have to be perfect to be a crafter. This is just an image of a Florida. It looks like a postcard. It says greetings from Florida. I'm in Florida, for those of you who don't know, so I thought this was great to send to my friends and family that are out of state. Heck, I might even send it to the ones in state. So, just going to ink that up and push it down. And just like those other stamping platforms, the great thing is if you miss some spots in your image or you're not happy with how it stamped, you can go back in and stamp it. Now again, this is going to be my honest opinion on this. I'm not paid or sponsored. I buy these crafting tools and supplies with my own money. And looks like it doesn't want to stamp right there. So I have had issues in the past since I've purchased this, getting it to stamp all the way, and I almost feel like these magnets are too big. That's how I feel. When I move the magnets, I seem to get a better impression. But we'll see as we go through with the other stamp companies if it seems to be the same issue, because again, this could just be the stamp manufacturers. That's why I have such a variety, and you'll see those as we go through. So if you have stamps from different companies, you too will see the difference that it makes or doesn't make. I feel like that R doesn't want to stamp. Gotta give it a second to transfer over completely, and then you've got a much better image there. Let me just go over that one more time. Look at this. How many times have I done this? I could never have done this in real life. I would have had to have thrown it away 5 times by now. I'm just gonna apply some pressure because I don't know if it's the stamp or my table. There we go. Now we've got a nice crisp image. That looks fantastic. All right, so I'm gonna wipe this stamp off. Got baby wipes close by. I just use regular baby wipes. These are off-brand, like Costco brand or something, Sam's Club. I don't like these as much. I do prefer the Huggies ones. It's worth the few dollars extra to get the name brand baby wipes. They don't leave the fuzz on your stamps like the no-name ones do. So that did okay, but I had to stamp it quite a few times. So this one is called, the name wasn't on the thing, it's called Scraggly Cat. Isn't he cute? This one's by Stampendous. I'm just going to stamp it up here next to him. Move that a little closer. See if it sticks. It does. So that vinyl cover apparently makes it stick really well. So this is a stamp that came mounted. The other one, the red rubber that I just did, was unmounted, and I mounted it myself. So this is a mounted stamp from Stampendous, and let's see how this one stamps. That stamped almost perfect the first time. I don't even think I need to go over it again. I will, just to make it a little darker, but apparently it's the thickness of the foam. We'll compare that in a second. I did have some trouble, like I said, stamping things with this, so I wonder if that's really what the issue was. That's why I wanted to do this. Nice and dark. Didn't even have to do it twice. So I'm just going to wipe the ink off of that. Obviously, Stampendous stamps work fabulously well in here. So let's see the thickness. If I compare them side by side, they're pretty comparable. I don't know if you can see that or not. They're pretty comparable. The red rubber is the same. The foam is the same. What's not the same is the stamped image. So if you can see that, let me see how well I can get this to work. So you can see the image here is so much deeper than the image here. I think that's the issue. So, moving right along, this is another small company. This is Purple Daisy Design, purpledaisydesign.com. This is just a little hot air balloon that I picked up at the stamp show recently, and I thought I'd stamp that and see how it works. So, again, mounted rubber. This one's not red or gray, it's purple rubber. So that's fantastic. I love the color. I love that they use a different color for their stamps. Let's see how it stamps. Always remember, when you put the ink on your stamp, give it a few seconds to transfer to the paper. This isn't magic that we're working with, they're rubber stamps. So the ink is on your rubber, and you want to make sure that you give it a chance to transfer to the paper before you move it. And I don't need to stamp that again. It's stamped really, really well. I think it's the thickness of the image, because again, this one has a really deep image and this one doesn't. So it's just not quite deep enough. Now what I'd like to do, I'm going to pull this paper off, because I want to keep that aside. So these are the images. Got a pretty clean image there. Missed a little bit here, but again, this image isn't as deep. So just know you're going to have to stamp more times if it doesn't come out clear. This came out really crisp and clear from Stampendous, and then Purple Daisy Design. So I'm going to lay that aside. Get another piece of paper over here. And let's start with our clear stamps. I mentioned Carmen's Veranda earlier. This is another stamp from Carmen's Veranda. She has a few acrylic stamps. I love this. And I'll show you what it says here in just a second. Oh, but see, we're on the rubber side. You've got to remember to flip it, because otherwise you're never going to get a good image. So now it says clear. Push it down, because I've got my image where I want it. Now this is a brand new stamp, so they're always a little tacky with the acrylic stamps or polymer stamps. They're always a little tacky. They want to stick to your paper, and that's okay. So I'm just going to move my magnets a little closer. Hopefully it'll hold that paper down. And again, give it a chance to transfer to the paper. You don't have to apply a lot of pressure, but look how crisp that is. Is that the cutest thing ever or what? I love that. Her stamps are adorable and very affordable. Let me tell you, that stamp was $4. They come individually wrapped, was $4, and that's like the best sentiment ever. All right, I'm gonna peel that off. Let's look at Newton's Nook. I don't know if anybody has stamps from Newton's, but I've got a couple of different kind here. I thought I would show you a Beautiful Bones, and of course you can't demonstrate Newton's Nook without a Newton stamp. So this is the Happy Mail stamp set, and like I said, Beautiful Bones. So I'm going to set that aside, and let's place Newton in here somewhere. Ooh, really sticky. All right, and then let's pick one of these sugar skulls from Beautiful Bones and place it down over here. And I'm going to pick these up, fold my paper down because my stamping doesn't have to be precise, thank goodness, right now, because I'm just practicing the different types of stamps. And hopefully I touch on a little bit of all the stamps that everyone has. I got it on the edge, so I'm just going to wipe that off. I think I just wiped off my stamp. It's okay if I do, because it's the stamp platform. We can just do it again. I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure, give that ink a chance to transfer. And it's okay that I got ink on there because remember, this is raised, so it's not going to touch my paper. So those look pretty good. This one came out a little better than this one did. Maybe I didn't have enough ink on there. You can see it was kind of stained purple. I used some purple ink on it before. So now it's got that nice black outline with it. Oh yeah, so that looks great now. All right. So Newton's Nook clear polymer stamps, those work great. And if you decide to go and purchase a stamp platform, let me know how it works for you. And if you have any problems with any of the stamps that you own, I'd love to hear if you have issues with any. I always try to put my stamps away as I go along. That way I don't end up with random stamps. I'm just going to sit that over here because we're done with that one. And put that one back on. There we go. Now this one goes with our Birding Unicorn stamp. But this is by Concord and Ninth. This is the Unicorn Awesomeness stamp set. We have this available too. I'll have links below if you'd like to purchase these. And again, remember that you're supporting small business. I'm going to stamp the unicorn, and I'm going to put her right there. That way it's super close. Put that over there. Let's see how Concord and Ninth stamps with the stamp platform. I've used this stamp to do some rainbow embossing too. That was really cool. Oh, look how crisp that is. They turn out so nice. I love how these work. And there's almost no ink left on there. That's fantastic. So I'm just going to wipe that off. Pull that stamp off. I don't think there's any need to do it again. But now I can actually cut that out and use it on a card front. Very excited about that. This one to the side. Now this one is Waffle Flower. This one is called Flora Cat Meow. and I just love these little cats. So these have a lot of little intricate detail, just kind of like this stamp. They've got a lot going on inside. So let's see how they stamp. Waffle Flower is another company that has a lot of great stamps, and we have several varieties of their stamps available as well. Move these a little closer. There we go, that's better. All right, let's add some ink to this Flora Cat. Now, I've not used this one before, I don't think, so it's possible I'm going to have to stamp it more than once because you can see the ink doesn't want to stick to the image. So we're going to have to stamp it a couple of times so that we get that clean image. Now, that has to do with how they make their stamps, the types of polymers that they use, and the process that they go through for finishing. It makes the ink bubble up. There are some tricks that you can look up how to stop that. You can put like a coat of StazOn on there. Some people put a coat of Versamark on their stamps, and it helps to prevent that. So that's good, nice and dark, and I can touch up those paws later with a marker if I want to. But those stamp pretty well all together. Nice, crisp, clear image, nice lines. I do like the Newton's Nook. They're very clean lines, just like the Concord 9th, very clean lines. The Waffle Flower, I find they tend to have a little bit thicker line, but they're still very clean, very easy to color images, and just a lot of fun on your cards and projects. So let's move on to Pink and Mane. Noticing a theme here, I love cats. So this is the Meow collection, and we're gonna stamp, if I can get it off, we're gonna stamp this guy up here with the fishbowl because I think he's cute. I think it might be time to turn the paper around. Possibly. Maybe not. We can still get that in there. Yep. He's right inside the edge. Look at that. Perfect. Paper moved. So let's put some ink on here. Let's see how well these stamp. Oh, look at that. Look how crisp those little lines are. Let's do that again. And I think this is going to put a line on my paper, so let me wipe that off. All over my hand. Imagine that. Making a mess. Pretty cute. Love that little cat. Looks like a little calico with a heart on his eye. Let me wipe that off now. Just wipe off my whole platform every now and then. Get any extra ink smears off of there that I might have lingering around. Now, I've had trouble with this set stamping from Altenew. It's the Label Love. It doesn't want to stamp clear, and I don't know if it's the way I'm trying to stamp or the platform or what it is. But let's try one I haven't tried. I tried the Love You because I was trying it there. Stamp the happy birthday. I'm going to have to turn my paper around, but that's okay. So I'm going to ink it up. Nice and easy. Push that down. That looks like it's stamping really, really nice. It looks like maybe I put my stamp down a little crooked. The letters might be crooked on there. It almost looks like a typewriter. I love that look. So make it nice and black. See how it shades in? I really don't like that. I want a crisper look. Well, I don't know when it stopped recording, but here's Carmen's Veranda, Concord and 9th, Unicorn Awesomeness, Newton's Nook, These were all clear polymer stamps. Waffle Flower, Altenew, another Newton's Nook right here. Pink and Maine with the little kitty cat from the Meow set. Hello from Altenew, from the Halftone Hello. And then this mermaid is from Card Making and Papercraft. So one of the magazine stamp sets that we get. It looks like right here there was a little bit of the polymer missing, so I'll just have to draw that in when I color the image. Not a big deal. Overall, I'm really satisfied with the way this stamps. If you have questions, please post them below or send me your comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you love this video, please give it a thumbs up and like and subscribe the channel. Until next time, keep it crafty. Bye now.